so hear me out. We're going to do a full moon in Virgo video like long before the actual full moon. One, so we can prepare ourselves mentally and physically and emotionally. Because I don't know about y'all, but I have some big plans for the full moon. And it's going to be a very abundant one. And if you don't know, now you know. March is not about manifesting, it is about seeing the fruits of your labor. So it is so vital, so important, and so much about being present. And that means fully present. That means not staring at your phone 24/7, not being distracted about the negativity going on around you. And know that that can be, difficult. We're not here for toxic positivity, but at the same time, like, you need to actually see the fruits of your labor. So if you're not present in the moment, you're not going to see the things coming in for you. So make sure that you can actually see the abundance coming in. So that is like your message for March, because this again is not about manifesting this month. It's about seeing the fruits of your labor. So all of the manifestations that you put effort in, make sure that you're open to receiving, because some of us can really close off our receiving mode because we just focus on all the negativity. And I get it, I totally do, but at the same time, there's so much to be had. This month is about finding balance in receiving again, because some of us find so many things too hard to believe, too good to be true, and so it just creates this toxic imbalance within us about like actually receiving. Like, we could honestly still be receiving and not see what's in front of us. That happens so often in relationships. It happens so often, like, just in general, like when you're having like a good day and you just like let one thing slip you up. Like, don't let that happen, because it's not going to benefit you. And if you just realize that, you've done all the hard work and you've been in much darker places, unfortunately, but it's true. So don't let anything small slip you up, because it is so important that you see what's going in for you, so you can keep this momentum. This momentum can stay here. It doesn't have to be here temporarily. It can be here for like life, bro. Just make sure that you're working on that balance, because when you find the balance here and you can see things actually working out for you, it becomes more balanced in the long run too. So I just hope that makes sense for you, because it's, again, this full moon in Virgo. She is all okay. So, I mean, I'm sure if you are not new to this channel, you've heard me talk about it plenty of times. I'm a Virgo. I'm my Virgo sun, babe. I got earth signs for days in my chart. It's sometimes it's frustrating, but more than sometimes, it's actually pretty balancing. I can be really raw and honest with myself and, not hide like a lot of us Virgos tend to do. We try to pretend our life is completely. Oh, wow, I just dropped all these cards. Maybe I'm lying right now. Yeah, so sometimes, only sometimes, we pretend that our life is a little bit more balanced than it really is. And this is really about actually having that balance and that inner peace, that inner energy, where you're actually like seeing what's happening in front of you. Because a lot of the times we disassociate, we stare at our phones, we get lost in translation, and so we don't actually see what's going on in front of us, and we miss out on a lot of really beautiful moments that way. So just make sure that you're being open to that sort of energy. And this is our reading for March, as well as just March 1st, and the Virgo moon, the Virgo full moon, which is on March 7th, babe. I know. Literally a week in to March, we're gonna have a full moon, and it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be the Virgo. All my Virgo babes, this is your season. This is your time. I mean, maybe it's just the full moon, but it's still, this is your time to actually see the balance coming in for you. Because I don't know about y'all, but we get a lot of heat being a Virgo. I mean, I know that most signs do, but at the same time, I'm always seeing like a toaster as the emoji for, or the the meme, I should say, for Virgos, and we are so much more than a toaster. We have so much love to give. You can't make toaster strudels without a toaster. I'm just saying, like, we deserve more love because maybe we are structured, maybe we are pretty, like, balanced, or not even balanced, just maybe we're just a little bit more organized than most people, but that doesn't mean that we're just a toaster. We're much more than that. So utilize your resources this month because you're going to actually see the fruits of your labor. So whether you're working on like old projects, or you have like some like unutilized like equipment, or resources, spell work, whatever it is, like utilize it because it's going to actually bring you in abundance. Like your creativity is really going to flow right now, and it's also going to attract better things for you. So more resources are going to also come in for you during this time. So make sure that you're seeing that and you're putting that stuff to good use because you can really start flourishing with all of this energy coming in. And make sure again that you're sensitized, that you can see what's in front of you and you can see what's actually coming in for you, because again the flowers are blossoming. It's about springtime. I think it is springtime already. I mean, it's March, so we're getting into it. And just see things actually happening in front of you. So don't allow yourself to be blinded by like the negativity of others or anybody else's successes. Don't let that thwart you because their place is their place, your place is here, and it's not the same. And so don't allow other people's successes to distract you either. I know that we don't want to admit that sometimes, but sometimes it can be distracting, and sometimes we can be like, oh, well, where are my blessings? Look, they're right in front of you, but you're too busy looking at somebody else's to see yours. So focus on your own structure and build your structure around success so you can actually start seeing the effort that you're putting in, because other people's effort has nothing to do with you. That's their effort, that's their path, that's their plan. This right here is yours. So really recognize that, sit with it, and make sure that you're focused on self, because prioritizing yourself is what's going to help this momentum keep going. It's going to help you keep the momentum. So, like, this is all about finding the balance in your structure again, and also just really starting to receive, because being open to receiving, I know that sounds silly, but it's so, 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 so important to really actually have this sort of like vision of success, because if you're not seeing what's actually in front of you, if you're not allowing yourself to be receiving, then you're going to block a lot of this stuff coming in for you, because one, you're not seeing it, and two, like you're just going to cause more chaotic calamity within yourself by focusing on other people, by focusing on other places and things that have nothing to do with you. Focus on self, focus on not even just growth, but just the flourishing aspect. So when you see something work, go with what works and build on that. So, like, the energy that you focus on one thing can help that one thing flourish. Like me, I had so many projects starting out with. I was all over the place. I was all on so many different social medias, and so my energy was spread out. And yes, I was growing. Yes, I was still sort of flourishing, not really, but I was still seeing the momentum keep up with me. And I just, I stumbled because I kept focusing on different areas at all at once. And so it was just so chaotic. I had no time for myself. I had no time to relax. And now that I've actually like calmed myself, I've started to find that balance again and relax and focus on one thing at a time. Now I really start to see some of the things that I've worked and put effort in to really flourish. So I can see my communities growing. I can see my artwork actually becoming much more, I don't know, nice. Much nicer than it was before, because, I'm still an amateur artist. But my point is like we can still, like, if we focus on ourselves and focus on one thing at a time, or even just a couple of things, don't spread yourself out, okay? But when we focus on one thing, we can see it with more clarity, with way more vision, and then that energy gets prioritized by the universe as well, not just by us, but also with the universe, because the universe is like, hey, this is what they want to focus on. Let's make this happen, and so it happens. It's crazy, I know, right? When you focus your energy, it starts to grow. I know. It's a crazy concept. I know it sounds super simple, but so difficult to do sometimes because we want to just accomplish so much, especially when you're a go-getter, a Virgo at heart and sun. So, allow yourself to actually see, be open to receiving, and just let the creativity flow. If you see something work, once again, just grow with it. Grow with it, let it glow, and just put more effort and energy into that one thing or those couple of things, and just allow that stuff to start to flourish and see what you're working on and the effort that you're putting on, so you can start putting gratitude into your own self, because we're not here just being grateful for the universe and the effort that the universe brings to us, but we also have to be grateful for all the effort that we put in ourselves, because we do not give ourselves enough credit. I don't know about you, but I do not give myself enough credit. I try to be like, I don't know, I talk about how I love my ego all the time, but I'm actually pretty I'm pretty like self-abandoning when it comes to my ego sometimes, and it's not healthy to do. I don't care what that guru told you. I don't care what that spiritual worker told you about your ego, but don't get it in check just because somebody told you that you need to be completely selfless with the world. Like, you got to put some more love and effort into yourself too. I know, I said it. It sounds toxic because people want to program you into being this like selfless, humanless, soulless creature that doesn't love yourself the way that you should, because you need to take care and prioritize the outer world versus yourself. That does not work that way. If you want to see the outside world flourish, you gotta protect and keep your inside world balanced. I don't care what somebody says. I am right about this. That's my ego talking. No, but seriously, like, you should really focus on self, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. How many times have you heard that? It is true. And that goes into your ego. Your ego is not the enemy. It is your frenemy sometimes. But no, seriously, it's not your enemy. You can actually like maintain your ego into prioritizing self and self-care, self-worth, and effort, and see your creativity. You deserve to award yourself. You need to celebrate yourself. Like, why would you not want to celebrate yourself? Who would not want an excuse to eat cake? You don't just gotta eat it on your birthday, and most of us don't even get cake on our birthdays. So, like, go buy a cake and celebrate. You deserve it. I know, it's crazy. Nobody's told you that until recently. So, make sure that you're focused on self-love and self-care, because it's super important right now. You need to love yourself, because right now is when everything is coming in, and that's so important and vital to actually see the things coming in for you. Okay. So now that I've reiterated that enough times, it's really about preparing for the full moon. So this full moon in Virgo, she has so many things to give you. Like, she's an earthly goddess. The Virgo is an earthly goddess. She is connected and grounded in her own energy space. She is an observer of sorts. She observes the universe, she observes people, she observes animals, she observes the sounds. She's very intuitive, and she connects herself with the things around her so she can understand the world around her better and more openly and freely, because that is the most love you can give the earth, is to let it grow freely. Because if you connect yourself with all of this anxiety, all of this anxious emotion about having to be a protector, having to be this person, this superhero that you are not, is going to put so much pressure on your heart and soul, and it's going to create more chaos, and it's going to create good. So I know that that may not be exactly what everyone wants to hear, but sometimes we really do got to take care of ourselves, because we don't do that enough. And that doesn't go for everybody, but for a lot of people it really does. So just make sure that you're protecting your own energy space and allowing yourself to flourish, because People will try to bring you down, and they're going to make you doubt yourself, or they're going to try to make you doubt yourself, especially when you're glowing. So don't let that sort of thing trip you up. You do not need to be a people pleaser. I don't know who needs to hear this today. It's probably me too. But you don't got to be a people pleaser. Like, people pleasing is not, it's just toxic. It's just not going to, you can't please everybody. And if that's your goal and aim in life, it's going to bring you into a lot of calamities. So I just hope you understand that one, because I know that it may sound strange to some spiritual light workers and all of my lovely, loving, friendly peeps, but it's so not beneficial. Like, flourish in your own self-care, flourish in your own um main character energy. Selfish era, so important. I know that it sounds crazy, I know that it sounds strange, but being selfish isn't exactly evil. It's not bad and it's not toxic. Being selfish means that you don't have all of this weight from other people bringing you down, because that sort of negativity can really be hard on the soul, and it can really be hard on the mind. So don't let that sort of negativity crush you from being this blossoming creature, because the blossoming creature is going to do much more good than the worrisome anxious one. So don't allow that type of energy fill your headspace. Don't allow it to consume your soul. Just make sure that you're flourishing with what you have around you, and make sure that you see with clear vision. I hope today's video really resonates, and I hope that it makes sense to you, because this is the time. This is the time to flourish. I keep seeing numerology on my clock, so I'm just saying, like, it is actually the time. I love you guys. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and make your full moon water, because it's going to be really important, because it is going to be some earthly stuff. That full moon water, you can put it in your tea, your coffee, you can bathe in it, you can just put it in your plants, you can put it on your body, your hair, you can do whatever you want with it, babe. Just make sure that you're making it under the beautiful glistening full moon, because it's going to help you focus back on spiritual self, and bringing you back into alignment with your third eye and your intuition, because your intuition is going to guide you into much bigger and better things. So I love you guys. Take advantage of this opportunity. Take advantage of your own energy and focus on growing, because this is the time to receive. And when we're receiving, we can start glowing and growing so much quicker. So yeah, and keep that balance too, because when you let that roll out, it's just going to keep the momentum, and you're just going to keep seeing more and more and more positivity for yourself. I know that it sounds strange that it can happen that way, but I promise you that it can. Okay, I love you guys for real. Bye.